Hello everyone. Surprise, surprise. It's been several months since I've done a video, and I thought, you know what, let me do a video and kind of explain everything that's been going on. I had to take a step back and kind of refocus my attention on how I wanted to move forward as it relates to the comic book industry, my, business side as it relates to selling at shows, and my PC, my personal collection. And I just, I've been very frustrated. We've talked about this on the channel several times, my frustration with the current market and the current, climate of comic books. There's just, tons of really bad storylines coming out. The price of comics are going through the roof. It used to be, $2.99, $3.99, and then there was $5.99. Now it's, $7.99, $8.99, $9.99. It's just getting a little overbearing, and it takes the enjoyment out of it for me. I very seldom, I don't even go to the comic book stores, on New Comic Book Day. I'll just show up and look for certain things. I've cut back on my boxes, tremendously as it relates to what I'm looking for. And so I wanted to explain what I am doing moving forward. What I am doing moving forward is I am only going to collect covers that I like. I have just decided that I want to get back into something that I've always enjoyed. We've talked about the artwork and cover art, that it's okay to buy books for covers. I've done that for several years, where you got a cool looking cover and I buy it, or something that makes me feel good, or something that brings a good memory to me. And so that's what I am going to do moving forward, which means I have tens of thousands of books I have to go through at home and in my storage units and pull up the things that I want to have for my personal collection. Everything else is going to be sold off. And so down the road, there's going to be, and I'm not talking about, getting huge money for things. I'm talking about a lot of the stuff I've purchased in the last 20 years. I'm going to take a percentage of it for my personal collection as it relates to, covers or maybe storylines that I like, that I'm going to save, the comic books for on that. Everything else is just going to get blown out. I'm going to blow it out. And so there's going to be opportunities down the road, either at local shows that I'm going to do, but that's still a ways away. I got a lot of books I want to go through first. And then I'm going to have a couple of, home sales, like I was doing my Arkham Garage, just to blow stuff out. You show up, you pay $1, you get a nice book, because mostly everything is going to be around $1. And it's all bagged and board. It's all high grade stuff. It's stuff that I was buying and putting away that hasn't seen the light of day in, several years. And so it'll be something good that people can buy for themselves. I've gotten a lot of, emails from people and making sure everything was okay. It is okay. And like I said, it was a very difficult decision for me to make this decision, because comic books have been such a huge part of my life for so many years. And I want to be able to keep that. But instead of having a wide net, I'm just doing a very narrow net, going from like a 10-lane highway to a 1-lane highway, a one-way street. And I'm okay with that. I got to the point where, I've discussed this with some people that are close to me, that kind of know what comic books mean to me, and just kind of told them, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. And I feel very good about that. It's downsizing. Ultimately, everything you see behind me is going to be filled with private collection books. I'm certainly not going to say I have 100 books to go through and I'm only going to keep one book. No, there's a lot of books I'm going to keep, and it's all going into Mylar. I'm going to put it in, I have tons of this Mylar, thousands of, sheets to do that, because my personal collection, after everything is said and done, is probably going to be in the 4,000 to 6,000 book range, from just what I have now. I'm going to keep a lot of the vintage, a lot of the things that I like, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing moving forward. And this video is just going to be kind of a real quick video, because again, I want to get back into the swing. I want to stay connected to this community on YouTube, and you, the viewers who have been there and supported me through good times and bad times. This isn't a bad time. This isn't a sad time. This is just a transition time. And I'm just transitioning to something that I hope puts that spark back in, if I narrow my scope and I have the opportunity to say, hey, you know what? I'm looking forward to this show coming up, or I really want to go here because I'm looking for this particular book. I'm always going to buy pre-code. That's never going to change. I'm always going to buy bondage covers. I'm always going to buy monster covers. That's never going to change. It's just the newer stuff that I'm buying. I'm not buying things based off of, this, a new character here, or keeping a storyline going. If I want to buy a storyline, I will buy the collected editions. But again, there are certain storylines that I like that I'm going to keep. I still like Something's Killing the Children. I think that's a great storyline. And just other, a lot of independent press. There's not a whole lot of, Marvel DC that excites me anymore. It's a lot of independent stuff, and there's been a lot of really good independent books. We've talked about independent here, but in order to stay tight with that, we are going to buy covers. I'm going to buy cover purchases, and I am going to show you some covers. And every week I'm going to go through books. I go through books every day, and every week I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff I'm pulling from my private collection. So it'll give you something fresh to look at, new stuff, old stuff, whatever. So without further ado, let's show you some of the things that I have picked up, or the things I have pulled out. A couple of things I've purchased recently, and this is stuff. And again, personal collection stuff to me are books that I like, aren't necessarily expensive books. We've said this 1,000 times. If you're chasing the big dollar, you're doing the collection wrong. And that was one of the things that kind of frustrated me with collectors, is that they're buying all these big money books, and then they just saturate the market with it because, I thought I was going to get a 9.0 on it, and I got an 8.0, and I'm pissed off, and I'm going to dump it, and, whatever. Buy books because you enjoy it, or because it has some type of significance, to you, or something that you really like doing. So, a couple of things I've picked up recently. These were the Spirit, and these were newspaper handouts that went into the newspapers. A little short story about the book. So this is the Spirit, and this is from 1945. This is from the Baltimore thing here, and here is the little thing here. It's really cool. Again, Spirit, 1945. Of course, politically not correct, but the times were what it was. I found these at a local shop. My friend Brian at Cosmic had these for me, and I picked them up. Again, things that I like. I've shown a lot of books here from the 40s, a lot of things from the 50s, and unfortunately a lot of things that were politically incorrect. But that was the time, and those are very collectible. These are very collectible. This is really, really high grade, very thin. I don't know if you can see that. It's a very thin story. But again, it was just something that was thrown in the newspaper, the newspaper for people to read. And then the one I really like, this is from November 2nd, 1941. This is pre-World War II, pre-United States getting into World War II. And again, this is the Spirit. This is a Will Eisner here and right here. That is just classic Spirit right there. 1941, pre-war. Think about that. Think about how long this book has been around, or this little flyer in the newspapers has been around, but the condition is just really, really good. And this is what it was. There was no covers. This was it. It was a little handout and a little tiny story inside, and I absolutely love it. And again, you can see the date on there, right there. Sunday, November 2nd, 1941. Absolutely amazing. Historical, to me. I'm real big on that stuff. I really, really like that. And now these are some of the things that I'm going to collect. Different levels of books and different things that we're going to keep. And again, things that I like. And a lot of people might not like it. A lot of people, oh, that's a stupid cover, or that book isn't worth anything. It's worth something to me because I enjoy looking at covers. We've talked about that, where I got a couple of books here that has a lot of pre-code, books full of pre-code covers, which I just like looking at because to me, that's enjoyable to me. So without further ado, let's show you some books. This is some of the stuff I have. Something like this, Crossed. Of course, Little Red Riding Hood. This is a Crossed 100. I just absolutely love that cover. Got the wolf. She's got the bloody hatchet right there. To me, that's a great cover. Sorry for the glare. This is all Mylar. I'm putting everything in Mylar. There's everything going in there. This book here, Nothing Fantastic, 1976. This is a Super Friends #1, but I remember watching the Super Friends at this time in the 70s on Saturday morning, and this just brings back amazing memories of a time that I was very, very happy with. Hanging out with friends, going to the 7-Eleven, buying these off of spinner racks, playing pinball, Slurpees, and collector cups. This is just a good time for me. It's a good memory. It always puts a smile on my face. So something like that I'm going to keep. Planet of the Apes. Remember the TV show from 1976? The ape on the cover, picking up the gun on the beginning of the TV show. Amazing stuff. This is a really high grade book. I think this is like a very fine plus. And again, just really like that cover right there. Supposed to be like Charlton Heston, but it's not Charlton Heston, obviously. Creatures on the Loose Man Wolf, falls right up on the genre that I love. Again, I like to think, God, if I'm in my car and something like that's jumping down the back seat, I'm just going to scare the hell out of me. So there is that right there. Just a Man Wolf, a basic Man Wolf cover from 1974. Witching Hour. I love Witching Hour. This is a Nick Cardy cover. One of my favorite covers. We've talked about this before. You know, the bride looking in the mirror and seeing the old lady in the mirror. And then, you know, the unsuspecting future husband right there. But I love the Witching Hour. I love the witch from the Witching Hour. And these are things that I'm going to be looking for when I do shows, or when I go to shows and things like that, is stuff with the witch on it. And these are going to be things where I'll buy 10 copies of that book just to have it. Again, another one falls under the same monster genre I like. People make fun of me the way I say horror, so I try not to say that, because I'm not calling a personal horror. I'm trying to say horror. And so this is Dead of Night number 4. You know, got the werewolf right there with the girl. Really cool right there. 1974 again. Bernie Wrightson. We don't need to say anything more about Bernie. We love Bernie Wrightson on this channel. We always have. And here's another one that's going to go in. All these are personal collection books. They're going to be in the, you know, once I get everything pulled aside, I'll put everything in order at that time. This is House of Secrets, number 94. Classic Bernie Wrightson cover right there. Classic Bernie Wrightson cover. The ghoul with the girl in distress going down the stairs. You gotta love, how can you not love that? Atlas Comics, small independent press, 1975. Another high-grade version of this. Like a lot of things, for those of you who know me and have seen my books, my private collection books, especially the recent stuff, or even stuff from the, you know, the late 70s or mid 70s, all high grade, 8 and above. And the newer stuff is all 9.8. It's, you know, I won't keep anything that's new that isn't a high grade that I can't get. So here's Tales of Evil number 1. I always like that girl with that, you know, you know, sitting there all scared, you know, the werewolf doing some damage right there. Love that. A really good set of books to get if you can find them, which I can, because they're very popular and they, you know, they sell really quick. These are the giant size books. This is a giant size chiller number 1. Right here, 1975. Mid-grade, tough because of the spine. It's tough because I usually get a little crush on there. Chamber of Chills, 1975. Something coming through the window. Again, same thing. If something's like that coming through the window on me, it's probably going to scare the hell out of me. One of my best favorite stories, Frankenstein Monster. Absolutely love Frankenstein. Kind of falls in with my love when I was younger with the Universal monsters. You know, Frankenstein, Dracula, werewolf, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Here's just another one. I have a ton of the Frankenstein monsters. I'm going to keep buying them when I find them in high grade. This is a 9+ on this, and just absolutely love it. And then finally, I'll show you a few more that I did today. And this kind of goes into the, you know, I'll show you a little stack. And then I'm going to show stuff every week. So I hope you guys continue to tune in for me. Things like this is what I'm talking about, right? So books that might not be real expensive, but things that I love that I'm going to start putting away for private collections I'm looking for at shows. This is Afterlife with Archie number 1. This is the P-Boy variant, of course, famous right there with Veronica. I think that's Veronica or Betty. I don't know. I just love that cover with the zombies. Zombie Tramp. Here is, of course, if you know the 80s, the movie Angel, about the girl who's a hooker. You know, it was, you know, honor student by day, hooker by night. This was the movie poster takeoff on it. One, she was in her hooker outfit, and then the other one, she was in her schoolgirl outfit. So there's that there. Love that. It kind of falls into a couple things. It's a really cool cover, and it kind of falls with my love of the 80s B-movies, slasher movies, things like that. Here's another one. This is Zombie Tramp, number 16. This is signed by Dan Mendoza, but there is because of the Jason mask from Friday the 13th. Of course, we love Jason and Michael Myers from those right there. So there's that there. Again, nothing super expensive, just something that I enjoy watching. Here's something from Zenescope. We've talked about how Zenescope, in my opinion, does some of the best covers around. And this is limited to 100. This is the special, it's Realm War, Age of Darkness, issue number 4 of 12, but this is limited to 500 copies. Just really nice right there. Gun Honey, the Heat Seeker. This was, I just thought was a really cool cover when I saw it. You know, the feathers covering up what needs to be covered up. Again, just something that's really cool. And again, the things that I like, you don't have to like it. This is Archer. There's another one right there, really cool. Archer does really good covers. And then this is Spawn number 323. This is the one with the clown and the kids trick-or-treating. I just absolutely love that. I absolutely love that cover. When I saw it, I was like, I'm grabbing a few of those covers. And I'll show you just a few more because I'm enjoying watching these books right now. So if you don't mind, let's show a few more. No, I don't want this. Hold on a second. I don't want these to fall. Like I said, I'm working on these every day. The boxes are not full. So there's that. Next up, this is the other version of that. This is King Spawn. And there's the same kids, but there's that character there. And I can show you it's kind of, you know, a little different with the Spawn character there. So with King Spawn. This is Lovesick. Lovesick was a storyline that we talked about. They had amazing covers. There's one cover there where she's holding all the pigs. If you read the story, you know what the pig signifies in the storyline right there. Kind of a same thing, Virgin Mary cover with that. Things like that, kind of fall covers. Checks a lot of bases for me on things. Here's a cover here, issue number 7. This cover sold out very quickly when it did come out. Like I said, Lovesick had some really good covers of their books. And then a couple more, and that'll do it for this week. This is Something's Killing the Children. This is signed. This is signed right here by Tyler Kirkham. Really cool cover there. Here's a Long Halloween Joker, which I love. He's got the little Christmas hat on, the presents. I actually loved that when I saw it, so I was going to get that. And then finally, again, checks a lot of boxes. A Zenoscope book that checks a lot of boxes on that. This is the Grim Spotlight, Cinderella versus Zombies. Really cool cover there. You got Cinderella with the, you know, the big samurai sword and the zombies around her like that. So that's kind of what you're going to be seeing moving forward with me. You know, I do have a lot of vintage books that I'm just going to Mylar up and pack away. That's just kind of the way it's going to be. And then, like I said, you know, it's not a sad day. It's you know, just a new direction day for me. But there is an opportunity to buy a bunch of books. If you guys are interested in buying books and you're in Las Vegas, you know what? You have the opportunity to get a lot of nice books at a fairly reasonable price. I'm not going to give the stuff away, but you're going to be able to do something with it. So that's pretty much all we have right now. I want to thank everybody who reached out again. It meant a lot. And I'm sorry I didn't get back sooner, but I just had to really be in the right state of mind and 100% sold on the direction that I want to go to. And again, every week, I'll be showing new books that I'm putting away. So you're never going to see the same books twice. And again, I have literally probably 50,000 books I got to go through, you know, to find things. So it's going to take me a long time. So there's going to be a lot of videos moving forward. And again, thank you so much for everything. This channel means a lot to me. And you, the viewers, mean a lot to me. And with that said, I hope you liked the video. But as always, if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great, great day. And I will see you next week.